London 2012 Olympics. One of the most dramatic judo battles of all time. Rematch.
Yep.
So you reached the semifinals once again to face the German, Ole Bischof. Do you mind if we step through that match a little bit?
Well, by all means. I've only ever watched the entire thing one time, just because. Fucking.
So, for context, for the listener, Travis, first of all, you don't like losing. I think that's fair to say.
You know, the hard part with this match is because I went into this Olympics thinking, I'm going to fucking win the Olympics. I'm the best in the world. I never in my right mind thought, oh, I'm going to win a medal. Like that never crossed my mind. So it's like, I would have rather him just fucking beat me.
Yeah.
Because then I lost.
So here, the referees, as many people thought, robbed you of a victory, but it was also a really close battle, again, with many of the elements of frustration as 2008 in terms of strategically and gripping wise. And it was just a fascinating battle that went to overtime. Can you set the context? So what did the bracket look like? Who were the players here? Who did you beat leading up to this match? As you walk onto the mat, what happened the day before, the hours before, as you're standing there? By the way, how badass is it when just two people are standing like this? And yeah,
that fucking guy, man. But this bracket was really interesting if you look at like the backstory of 81 kilos, like leading up to the Olympics, right? Because at this point in time, you know, I was inside the top 10 at all times, you know, 8, 7, 5, 4, you know, 6s. I fell out of there sometimes due to injuries, but I always climbed back in. There was another guy from Azerbaijan that was the Olympic champion at 73 kilos in 2008. And the entire division got rocked by match one. Because his first match was with Antoine Valles-Fortier of Canada. And everybody who saw the draw come out was like, the Azerbaijani's going to win it. He's the former Olympic champion. He's pretty much won most of the major events, including at 90 kilos, because he just had smooth judo. And, you know, match one rolls around, match two rolls around. Antoine's in the chute and he's looking around and he's like, the Azerbaijani is not here. Well, where is he? No joke. He runs into the venue a match before, throws his gi on and runs onto the Olympic platform.
Wow.
Loses to the Canadian in like a 3-minute golden score battle.
So do you think he warmed up?
Didn't. He ran. He literally ran into the venue, threw his gi on and ran out. Did no judo. And there you see Antoine losing in the quarters.
So how good was Antoine?
At this point in time, this is, I believe, his first international medal was the Olympic Games.
So
like, I don't think he'd ever medaled in Paris. He went into this bracket unranked, beating the ranked guy first round because I don't know if he missed the bus. I don't know if he was off his cycle and planned on losing because he didn't want to test positive. I don't know. There's a lot of like questionable things out there that could have potentially caused him to, you know, run onto the Olympic platform for match one. But, you know, it catapulted Antoine into like a belief that like, I beat the seeded guy. I'm ready. And that was like a turning point in the Canadian's career just as a whole. Right? That's that everybody has a defining moment. Like mine was when I beat Bischof in Dusseldorf at the Grand Prix for Germany after 2008. Right? I beat the Olympic champion on his home soil to go win the entire tournament. So we all have like those moments. It's just when it happens at the games, it throws the bracket like into a tailspin because typically you'd know like who's going to beat who, where it's going to happen. And when you look at my quarterfinal against the Brazilian, what most people don't know is I was so thankful I had that match. Most people would never in a million years be like, I want to fight the world number one at the Olympic Games. That's what I want to do. I want to be the 8th seed fighting the world number one because I'm going to win. I was pissed off at him. I was so angry because we were at the Pan Ams, I think the year before, and there was a team tournament and I wanted to fight him. I lost the quarters to a Cuban, I think, in like the first gripping exchange. He threw me with a drop sail out of nowhere. I was pissed. So I wanted my hands on the Brazilian in the team match. Well, the Brazilian team's warming up. So I walk up to him, no joke. I walked up to him and I go, "You're fighting?" And he goes, "Not today." And I went, "Are you fucking kidding me? I warmed up. I taped up. You're the only fucking guy I want to fight. And you're going to fucking sit in the stands and read a goddamn book?" I was so angry. I carried that anger because I never fought him until this day. I was fucking pissed. I was ready to beat him.
That's right. I remember. I forgot he was the world number one.
Yeah.
How did? Because I remember like being really excited at that match. How did you beat him?
I threw him with 2 hands on the same side collar.
Yeah.
Like drop sail. I cross gripped. I yanked him behind me and I threw him.
Ippon?
Wazari. And then the match ended 30 seconds later.
Yeah.
I was pumped.
I thought, like, okay, if I'm remembering correctly, I thought, okay, this guy might actually win gold. That's what made, for me as a spectator, remembering now the next match that much more like painful.
And then the fans of judo that really followed the sport, the stats, when you look at the games and my draws, I had the worst possible draws you ever could have imagined.
Yeah.
At both London and Rio, I fought the world number one to get to the final or into the semis or past the semis. And everybody I fought in the draw either beat me the last time we fought or I had never fought him before. So I always held a loss going on to the mat at the Olympic Games.
How'd you feel about that, by the way? Like, what were your feelings about facing the Brazilian first?
I was so excited. That was match 3. In London, I fought the Slovenian guy first round who beat me. Where did he beat me? Was it the Worlds? Might have been the Worlds. And then Churchesville, I fought in the second round, who threw me for Wazari in Japan. And then Leandro, who I don't think I ever fought, who was world number one, that avoided fighting me at the team tournament.
But I mean, every single Olympics you've fought in, you really stepped up.
It's the only tournament I've ever prepped for.
Mentally and physically and just the whole thing.
Yeah. We never trained through this tournament like we did for the others. Or I would go into it injured.
All right, well, let's talk about, you're standing there next to that, to the German. He looked always smaller than you, but you said like strong.
Yeah.
So what are you feeling now? Jimmy Pedro behind you.
I was fucking ready to take his head off.
Did you have an idea of what you're gonna do? Did you you're thinking of winning by Ippon? Were you thinking like going for big throws, take him in deep waters, grip him, or what were you thinking? We
were about to have a battle, and I wasn't gonna throw him until he broke mentally.
Okay.
There was no like, oh, this is gonna be a clean throw. That was never the thought process.
So here, there's going to be a lot of gripping. So we're seeing a shit ton of gripping.
And right here, he throws it, bang, close-fisted.
You got a lot of adrenaline. You seem calm.
I'm pissed.
You're pissed.
Like,
you don't look pissed. You just look like...
I'm looking at the ref, like, because he keeps telling me to get up. I'm like, I have blood running down my face. I
go... Here, there's blood.
See? And he's like, oh yeah, go fix it.
And that's on your eyebrow somewhere?
Yeah, he split it just underneath it.
So you split your eyebrow, and so in judo, they're allergic to blood, probably for a good reason, but so now you have to try to figure out how to tape that up.
Yeah.
which already sets up one of the most badass looks in judo history.
First 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Busted my eye open.
Was that getting in the way of your eyesight at all or no?
No.
Damn, he looks good at gripping. How difficult is it to get a grip on that guy?
Very. See, like I'm struggling just to get my hand in the collar, and he wasn't even blocking it.
Is he being caged?
Yeah.
Remember, like, is he interested in offense?
Nope. He's a very cagey, methodical player. Like he never opens himself up.
Yeah. There you go. You grab the leg as part of a combination.
Yep.
And people have told me that he's actually very good at throwing people. He just doesn't. But he just doesn't show it at these.
Nope. Because he doesn't care how he wins. He cares that he wins.
Yeah.
Which makes him very difficult to beat. Because he knows when you've strategized to do that, where you look at the rule set and you develop a plan to get through the matches, then you've really got to figure out a way to get that person off that game plan. Whether you get ahead by a penalty or something. Right there. Like, he wouldn't give me the sleeve, so I grabbed all of his fingers.
Oh, nice. In which is open, like this way, or
I grabbed them the other way and I started lifting them.
Yeah.
Like I started
nice.
reverse playing mercy.
Like this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great.
Because he wouldn't give me the sleeve and I needed an attack. So then I'm like, okay, I can't hold on to this forever because that judge is going to see it. So let me just do a quick throw here while I'm using the fingers in the mercy grip.
Holding on.
Yeah.
And then I just it out.
Yeah. And then he goes to get up and I go to get on top. And right here.
Nice.
That elbow.
You get him? You got him.
Yeah, it looks like I elbow him.
Did you do it kind of?
No, I didn't even. At the time, I never knew this happened.
Yeah.
Until after I watched this like 3 or 4 years later. Didn't even know. I didn't even feel it.
Look at that. So he's legitimately angry here.
Yeah, he's angry. And of course, you can't move. Why would you move?
Look at this. This moment right there is gold. If you're not watching this on video, you're missing out. You never get this in judo.
No. I don't know if that's ever happened.
That little face-off.
Especially on a stage like this.
The reference.
And then he brings us in to like talk to us and he's like, hey, we're good, right? Like you guys aren't about to do what I think you're about to do.
You put up
and
your
he's
hand.
like, hey, shake hands again. Because the first time we did it, that wasn't good enough. Well, you got to do it again. The heartbreaking part about this and why the IJF switched it to an unlimited golden score, because we fought 5 minutes through the entire normal part of the match. And then we did the entire overtime period of 3 minutes. Not one penalty was given. No gripping infractions, no false attacks, like no stalling.
That's great. There was nobody was really backing up.
Yep.
I mean, it was, So what was Jimmy telling you here? How was he talking to you at all?
He's not allowed to talk during medical things, and my nose is now broken.
But he's also the nose is broken from what?
I caught an elbow from him. Glad his face is clean. That's fun. And right here, like I was pissed. I was so angry at the medic because he's fumbling around, and I'm like, my whole plan is to break the German mentally.
Yeah,
you got to hurry up with the tape, man. Like he's supposed to be tired. Like he's not supposed to be resting.
And
like,
is Jimmy yelling here?
He can't.
No, not here, but during the match.
Yeah, and you can see I just take it from him, and I'm like, give it to me. I'm gonna do it myself. Get out of here.
How scared is the medic? It's like this guy's gonna kill me.
He can't even tear the tape.
Look how nervous he is.
We made fun of him for this so much throughout the years. Still do to this day. All right, here we go.
Oh, you look great.
Getting geared up. Can't really see, don't care.
Was there some outcome in your mind that you could possibly beat him on the ground with a submission or a pin? You knew you were going to have to throw him.
I knew I was going to have to. If I was going to throw him or armbar him or pin him, whatever the case may be, it was going to be his mental, like, I'm just tired of this.
Yeah.
Right? He's too cagey of a player. He's too experienced. He has to mentally make that choice to give that inch. Yeah. And then you just have to be ready to take it. So I was just waiting for it.
And so now this is 4 minutes in, 1 minute left.
Yeah.
That would, is that in your game plan too? Potential like sumigation, like these sacrifice throws too?
Because the whole point of that technique and the sacrifice throws wasn't because I thought I was going to throw him, but it disrupts the pattern enough to like get him to make a potential mistake.
Yeah.
Like, see, he should have gotten a Shido there, hands in the face. But again, that's just part of judo.
Yeah.
He poked me in the eyeball.
This is a rough match. Does he act at all or no? Like, was he acting frustrated or anything like that? Or was it all like he's like acting for the ref? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all that kind of stuff. You're just going in, hard, nonstop.
Yeah,
like angry, aggressive. Feeling cardio here at all? Like,
nope. I didn't get tired during this.
And then
like just always pressing forward.
Time runs out.
And now we're into golden score. 12 minutes and 38 seconds later. Yeah, you think about every judo exchange, right? Every time we grip up, every time we attack, sometimes it can take longer to get back to the line than the entire exchange.
Yeah. So the more aggression, the more exchanges you have, the longer the time stretches. Then here, the 6 seconds left in golden score. Your tape is now
like a
yellow and red.
Yeah.
With sweat and blood, literally, and time is out. Now, what are you thinking here? Do you think you won the match?
I thought I won the match a minute ago. I remember thinking to myself, like, if this goes to the flags, I won. No doubt in my mind. Because I felt like the whole time, like, I was going to him.
Yeah.
Right? He was never coming at me.
Yeah, that's the way it felt. I mean, like, that's the way it felt, body language wise, just the intensity, how fast you're moving towards him. You're constantly going for throws.
Now, if you want to rewind that, we can talk about the whole, because it's a part of this clip.
So wait a minute. They all went blue.
They all did.
So in judo, there's 3 referees, 2 on the side, 1 in the center, and they all vote on
and
one.
Now let's pause it right there. Now, the way this is supposed to work, they raise their flags. They do like a 1-2 count, and then on 3, they all raise it together.
Yeah.
Now, as a little pretext to this entire match, up until this point, not one match at the Olympic Games has ever been a split decision. Meaning, out of 3 people, not one of them voted against the other group members. So they were all unified blue or all unified white.
Yeah.
Right?
Which is statistically difficult to imagine.
Yes.
It's almost like they had a referee meeting and said it's better for the Olympics
to never have a split.
Yeah. Okay.
So the question becomes, if you had clicked that frame by frame, right? So right now we have all the refs with their flags out, and then click that.
So the middle
guy he is all the way up.
All the way up.
The other side judges haven't moved. We now have one side ref all the way up. Then we have a third side ref all the way up.
Yeah. So there's a time point when the middle guy has the flag all the way up.
If not 80, 90% of the way there.
Yeah.
Then the other one does. And then the third one goes. So now the question becomes, who really, like, did the outside refs really have an opinion? Or were they told to wait for the center one to start and then lift whatever flag the center ref picked?
Yeah, this is very unfortunate. Because it's very, honestly, it's very possible that they had this meeting. This is the problem with the Olympics. They sometimes, it's also the problem in the Soviet Union with communism. You think the committee knows what's good for the people and so on, so they decide universally as opposed to letting the magic of the Olympics be what it is. But nevertheless, in this case, the center ref decided blue. Like, what do you think? Do you think it's just a shitty call, or like
he has the right to pick? But the problem is the other 2, I don't think did.
Yeah. So,
so when you do this frame by frame again, right? like I can see from my own perspective 2 of the refs, and I see them both blue, right? So when you fast forward that a little bit to get to like all the flags, I see the 2 go blue, and I look over and I look at the other guy and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
All 3? I fought for 8 minutes and I can't even get a vote. I didn't even get a penalty. I can't even get a vote. And that's when I broke. I couldn't believe it. And I'm not going to lie, he looked shocked.
And here you're on your knees. Crying. You're crying.
Literally crying.
This is it.
Yeah.
Man,
but I think at the end.
An amazing match. That was such a war. I mean, both people can't believe what happened.
I know. And like, honestly, I wish we had the rules that we do today as far as the unlimited golden score, because I would have loved to have seen what would have happened.
What was Jimmy saying here to you? I mean, I guess there's nothing to say.
Yeah, he was kind of apologizing for the way the scores went.
Because he knows how badly you want it. He saw the match.
He felt I deserved to win it.
Yeah.
Based on like, what happened.
But he probably, with all his experience, knows that this is what the Olympics are about. The refs sometimes.
Yep.
I mean, that's the magic of it, man.
Well, and at the same time, we're in the Olympic semi-final in a sport that's dominated by certain continents. And when you look at the 3 refs on the mat, they're all European.
Yeah.
You're telling me there couldn't have been one Pan Am, one African, one Oceania, different. Like, why'd they all have to be European?
But to be fair, it's back to your sauna story. It's
correct.
Like you've dealt with this stuff before. And you've won over this stuff before.
And that's why, like, I was broken.
And you thought you won here.
And when I hindered on that for a year and a half, like, I couldn't even stand. I was done. But I'm pretty sure there's a slow motion replay on this when I watched it. He's all excited, that fucking guy. Yeah, he's all happy.
It's relief.
Yay.
Right?
Hey, hi, guys. I did it.
Yeah, so here's
look at
like
his teeth. My teeth are red.
Slow motion replay of the flags being raised, the heart being broken, Travis just bending over.
Right here. Watch his reaction. Like, you could see his mouth like open in awe. Like,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And he's looking at 2 refs just like I am. He didn't celebrate until he looked at the 3rd one and said, oh, all 3.
So you think he knew he lost?
I think in his head, like, I don't think he really believed he was winning.
He did enough to win. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when his mouth dropped, like, oh yeah, hey, all 3, like, that's not really the reaction you would give.
Yeah, I mean, that was that's one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. I mean, obviously it's painful for you, but that pain, first of all, sets the stage for 2016. But even without that, I think it was just a beautiful story at the Olympics. You still did an incredible job at that Olympics. You stood toe to toe.
I think in hindsight, having lost that match did more for me and more for the sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a whole, me losing that match.
Yeah. I mean, stories aren't about winning. Stories are about the fighting. So, and that made one hell of a story.
But it also has to do with, treachery is probably not the right word to use. It's probably the wrong word entirely to use. But because of the conflict in the match and because of how the refs handled the match there at the end, it created controversy that was spoken about for months on world media. Mm-hmm. Right? I remember articles being written about the Olympics and, the reffing and how it was corrupt, and that match was one of them. There was another one in fencing where like something happened with the timer where one of the fencers, I guess what happens in fencing, the timer resets up a second if it's down. So the fencer got 1 second played out, I think like 27 or 28 times, and then won on like 30. So like there was like clock fixing for fencing. There was this match that I think just got publicity, good or bad. Publicity is publicity for judo.